Welcome to Vibrant Children. This is Dr. Karen Haram, and today we're going to be talking about toxins in our environment. In this series of blogs, we've been talking about autism primarily, about the brain and some of the biochemical problems associated with this particular disorder. And what we've done is we've reviewed some of the common problems in the biochemistry or the methylation pathway and also in the mitochondria. So please refer to some of those earlier posts as a lead-in to today's topic, which is entitled, What About Toxins? What we need to do is to gain an understanding of the role that environmental toxins play in this epidemic of autism. What I want to do is leave you today with a rational approach, not one that's going to keep you all night wondering about what else you have to throw away or do differently to keep your child safe, but one that seems rational. So let's start with a fact. The fact is that environmental toxins play a prominent role in autism because they affect the immune system, they impact the mitochondria, and also they impact brain development, all three areas. And what's so critical here is that kids are not little adults. And in fact, babies are born with notoriously weak liver detoxification systems. Some of you may have had experienced jaundice in your newborn baby. After birth, those babies who experience jaundice are possibly more likely to have reduced detoxification mechanisms. In other words, that weakness presenting in the newborn period as jaundice may present later as a lowered ability to handle toxins in the environment. And in addition, children will concentrate pesticides at 3 times the rate of adults. I've got some important references for you to check if you'd like to actually get into the science of this. But what's important about pesticides is that they create free radicals within the cells of our body, our entire body. And some of these free radicals we know of as peroxynitrates. You see, free radicals are like rusting agents to our bodies, and peroxynitrate is a free radical that results in tissue damage throughout the body and the brain, resulting in widespread disease. But to the developing child, the greatest impact of these oxidizing free radicals is actually heaped upon the brain. Importantly, we have naturally in our bodies an enzyme called superoxide dismutase, and this will stop the peroxynitrates from damaging our tissues. Well, this enzyme is naturally deficient in people with trisomy 21 or Down syndrome. As you may know, this is a genetic disorder known to be associated with a much higher incidence of autism than in children without trisomy 21. So there's an interesting overlap there between Down syndrome and autism that we can learn from. The focus then of treatment for our children after we eliminate toxins is to improve the function of our natural antioxidants like the superoxide dismutase. And we can do this by giving the body naturally protective things like vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, manganese, selenium, and polyphenols. Before I get into the complicated names of these polyphenols, just remember that food sources of these natural antioxidants are the very best sources, and it's important to know about the food sources of vitamin A. Those sources include carrots, dark green vegetables, mango, beef liver, and also cheese. Remember that vitamin E is enriched in whole grains and seeds. Vitamin C is loaded in fruits and potatoes, and beta-carotene is also enriched in dark-colored vegetables. Anthocyanins, important antioxidants, are enriched in blueberries, strawberries, and other berries. And lycopene, important ingredient, is heaped into our tomatoes. Also found in green tea is a compound called EGCG. Okay, that's short for, here we go, epigallocatechin galates. Epigallocatechin galates. There you go. EGCGs enriched in green tea, and these are important things. Well, most of our kids are already on melatonin to initiate normal sleep physiology. And it turns out that melatonin is also really neuroprotective and reduces free radical damage in the brain. In fact, melatonin is twice as active and protective as vitamin E, and it's also readily accessible and affordable. What I'd like to tell you about now is a preschooler that I've been following from a very rural county in my state, and that state has an inordinately high level of pesticide exposure, um, in particular because he resides on a working farm. The crops around his home were regularly dusted, and he unfortunately had a predilection to eating rocks, dirt, leaves, and even goat excrement. Well, unfortunately, this little boy has had a significant impact on his biochemistry. Even though he is not cognitively impaired, he does have some language delay, and he does have some very, very difficult behaviors related to sensory processing disorder. And he is diagnosed with PDD in OS, meaning that he has just a little bit of autism. Well, these toxins have impacted his mitochondrial function and his nutrient intake. Slowly, over the past year, we've been able to support his nutritional intake and his detoxification systems by cleaning up his environment and his water, ridding him of parasites, and he's now making gains in language, social awareness, and in sensory processing. What are the solutions? You need to assist your child with the modern day complement of toxin exposures by providing organic foods when it counts. These foods are naturally free of artificial dyes, MSG, aspartame, benzoates, and nitrates, all of which interfere with normal biochemistry. You see, it's important for your child to have organic foods, even more so than it is for you unless you're breastfeeding. Number two, I want you to increase the number of antioxidants in the diet. A balanced intake of all the antioxidants is preferable to the addition of a single antioxidant in supplement form. We've talked about those food sources already. Don't forget that EGCG. Number three, when good food just isn't going down the hatch, I want you to supplement with the above mentioned nutrients and also the following supplements, which include reduced folate, biopterin, quercetin, rutin, and N-acetylcysteine, all of which you can find readily available in the marketplace. And number four, I want you to eliminate the readily avoidable toxins like acetaminophen or Tylenol, limit vaccines with ethyl mercury and with formaldehyde, and also filter all water. So thanks for listening and hearing about the importance of toxins in the epidemic of neurodevelopmental disorders. We're going to have more details about toxins and the treatments in the upcoming free live webinar on October 17 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to hearing your questions then, and I wish you the best on your autism journey. Thanks for tuning in to Vibrant Children.